Now, question. Remember, we are still on that series of preparation of the June exam 2024. Remember, this paper that we are doing is a paper from Eastern Cape that was written this year. So we are doing that series now. This is paper two. This is part of paper two, trigonometry. Question 5. If sine 15 or if sine 14 now. First, let's draw our diagram. 14, it's less than 9. Going to draw our diagram in first quadrant, and our angle is going to be here, which is 14, and we're going to have the angle of 90 degrees here, and sum of the triangle here, we're going to get this angle as 76. Now we have sine 14. This sine 14, this p is equals to p according to this, and then this p is over 1. Now remember, sine it's opposite over hypotenuse. So my opposite in terms of this is p, and this is going to be 1 as in hypotenuse side. Now I have to find this side of x, which is my adjacent side. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do Pythagoras theorem. It's 1 squared is equals to x squared plus p squared. Taking p to the other side, so it's 1 minus p squared is equals to x squared. Then square both sides, we square both sides, so my x is equals to 1 minus p squared into a square root. So my x here is 1 minus p squared into a square root. Now let's come back into our question 5.1.1. Let's calculate cos 76. Now guys, very important, cos 76, according to this here, what is cos in terms of our trig ratio? Cos is adjacent over hypotenuse. So the adjacent of this angle here is this one, which is p over what's over 1, which is my hypotenuse. So cos of 76 is p over 1, which is adjacent. The adjacent of this angle is p, and then the hypotenuse doesn't change. So let's go to 5.1.2. Now cos 44, in terms of cos 44, we can do this one in terms of the compound. How do I'm going to do that? This one is going to be cos into 30, which is going to be the special angle, plus 14, which is the angle that I have here. Now, what is the compound of cos? It's cos 30 cos 14 minus sine 30 and sine 14 equals to cos of 30 is just square root of 3 over 2 times cos of 14. According to what I have here, cos is what of 14 now? Cos of 14 is adjacent. Adjacent in this case is what? Is 1 square root of p into squared all over 1, which is going to be this, minus sine 30 is 1 over 2, and sine 14 in this case they've given us there, which is going to be p, and then this is going to be p. You can leave your answer like this. There's not going to be any problem with that. Now 5.1.3. Here I'm having 2 sine 218 times cos 38. Now from this 218, I can say this is this is sine 180 minus, or 180 plus, 180 plus 38 and cos of 38. Now 2 and then 180 plus. Where do we get 180 plus? We get 180 plus into the third quadrant, and sine is negative on the third quadrant. So this is going to be negative sine 38 into cos 38. Now here, this and this is just going to give me 2 sine 38 and then cos 38. This is just a double angle, which is going, remember now it's negative according to this negative, so it's going to be negative. Now this part here, it's a double angle, so it's just negative sine 2 into 38, which is negative sine what? 76. Now I do have the angle of 76 here, and then what is sine in terms of the trig ratios? Sine is just opposite. Now this is my opposite, which is opposite over adjacent, so it's going to be negative. My opposite is square root of 1 minus 2p squared. So this is part of equation 5. Okay, now 5.2, they're saying let's simplify without using a calculator this trigonometric ratio. So it's 5.2.1. So we have 1 plus, now 90 plus, it's on the second quadrant, and we're having sine which is also on the second quadrant, so whatever answer we're going to get is going to be positive. But since we are having 90 and sine, so we're going to use the ratio of sine, which is going to be cos theta. Now coming here, now let me write this thing here, cos into theta minus 360. Here we usually know as 360 and this angle, which is theta. So I'm saying cos into negative 360 plus theta. That's what we usually know. Now from here, I'm going to take this sine or negative as a common factor. So we're going to have negative into 360 minus theta, and then this and this give me this and this give me this. Now from here, what is cos of a negative sine? Cos of a negative sine is just positive cos, which is 360 minus theta, and then from here 360, it's on 360 minus, it's on the fourth quadrant, and cos is positive on the fourth quadrant, so we're going to have cos theta. So here it's going to be times cos theta. I hope everyone understood what I did here. Now let's move along all over. Now same thing here, sine into theta minus 30. Same thing here, it's going to be sine. It's different. Now here, guys, I hope you are noticing this and this, and we're having this and this. This is a or a compound angle of what? Sine and cos, sine and cos. I hope you see this is a compound of sine. So what is this compound of sine? It's going to be sine into, now very important, it's going to be theta minus 30, then compound of sine, this is minus, so it's minus theta. Hope you see that this was a compound of what? Of sine. Then from here, 1 plus, this is cos squared theta all over. Now theta and theta cancels each other. I'm going to have sine into negative 30 equals to, this is just 1 plus, I still have this cos squared theta is equals to, this is just negative 1 over 2. I hope we are still on the same page there. And then equals to 1, this and this, it's going to be minus I hope you can see that. And then this divided by this is just going to be 2 cos squared theta. And then from here, now, I hope you can see that this, if I can take a common factor of negative here and start with cos, it's just going to be 2 cos squared theta, and then this is going to be minus 1. And I hope you can see this part here is just exactly as negative double angle of cos, which is just cos 2 theta. I hope you're on the same page there. The trick thing was you recognizing this is a compound of sine, which is these things that they had here. Very, very, very important. Now, 5.2.2, they're saying write down the maximum value of this thing here. The maximum value of this is just y is equals to 1. This is the maximum value of this thing that we have right there. Good people, 5.3. Now they are asking us to prove that left hand side is equals to the right hand side. So let's start with our left hand side. Here we have sine 3x. So there we are going to separate it as sine into 2x plus x all over this sine x. Now we're going to do the compound of sine, which is going to be sine 2x cos x plus, and we are going to have sine x cos of 2x all over sine x. Now I'm going to change this double angle of sine into 2 sine x cos x, and this cos x that was already there, cos x plus sine x cos 2x all over. I didn't, if you can see that I didn't touch this double angle. Of course, this is just sine x. Now from here you can see that we have sine x on this side and sine x on this side, which is, this is what, this is common factor. So I'm going to take sine x as a common factor. What is left is these 2 here, and then this cos and cos, which is going to give me cos squared x, and then plus this is out as a common factor, so I'm left with this cos 2x all over sine x. Now this sine x cancels this sine x, but now what is very important, according to what I'm proving, this thing here has a sign. So what is cos squared x that is has sign? Remember, the cos squared x is just as 1 minus sine squared x. Now another thing here, plus the double angle of cos that has sine is 1 minus 2 sine squared x. Now times in here, this and this is just 2, and then minus 2 sine squared x. This is just plus 1 minus 2 sine squared x. Then from here, I'm having this 2 plus 1, which is just 3, and negative 2 sine squared x, another negative 2 sine squared x, which is just negative 4 sine squared and x. And you can see this is just the same as my right hand side. I hope we are on the same page. Good people, 5.4, which is general solution. Now we are having sine squared x plus sine 2x minus 3 cos squared x is equals to 0. Now general solution here, we are having a double angle, so we need to deal with the double angle. This is sine squared x. This is just 2 sine x cos x, and then minus 3 cos squared x is equals to 0. This is very important, guys. Now, let me just write this as uz squared plus z. This is 2z y minus 3 y squared. This thing is factorizable if you can say this is z minus y bracket into uz plus 3y bracket. If you can times this and this, gonna give me uz squared, and then this z and this, it's gonna give me what u plus 3z y, and this is gonna give me u negative z y, and that's gonna give me u negative 3y squared, and these two, if they minus each other, they're gonna give me u 2zy, and then this is just going to be z squared and minus 3y squared. I hope you see what I'm doing here. I'm going to apply exactly the same thing in this case here. Now let's factorize here. So I'm going to use cosine as cosine in this case here, and then minus cos x in this case as it here, and then another bracket which is z is going to be sine in this case, and then plus 3, which is this 3, and then y, which is cos in this case, so it's cos x, and then is equals to 0. Then from here, this is just sine x is equals to cos x, and this here is just sine x is equals to negative 3 cos x. Now from here, to make this tan, remember tan is sine over cos. So we're going to divide by cos x. We're going to divide by cos x, which is just going to be tan x is equals to 1. Do exactly the same thing here. We're going to divide by negative 3, not negative 3. We're going to divide by cos, sorry. Divide by cos here, so it's going to be cos x, divide by cos x, this cos and cos, this is tan, so it's just tan x is equals to negative 3. Now, finding my ref angle here, my ref angle in this case, it's going to be equals to 45. 45, sorry, and my ref angle here, do I have a second function tan negative 3? Yes, it's going to be my ref angle here is going to be, now I'm not putting the negative, it's going to be 7 1 into 565051118. Now remember, I'm going to talk about quadrants right now because it's very, very important when you are doing a general solution. Starting with this one where tan was 1. Where do we get the positive tan? We get that one on the first quadrant. So first quadrant, remember, first quadrant, we take our left angle as it is. So we're going to have x is equals to 45 plus, okay, times 180. Why 180? Because the period of tan is 180. And then remember, we are saying where k is an element of integers. Now, another thing, tan is also positive on where? On the third quadrant. So tan is positive on the third quadrant. So it's going to be x into, what do we get on the third quadrant? We get 180 plus 45 and then plus, okay, times 180. So this is 180 plus 45. We're going to get 225 plus, okay, times 180. This is the general solution of where tan x was equals to 1. Now let's find another one where tan x is equals to negative 3. Now where do we find tan negative? In what quadrant? We're getting it on the second quadrant. So my x is going to be equals to, what do we get on the second quadrant? We are getting 180 minus. Now remember, it's going to be 180 minus your reference angle. So it's going to be 180 minus 71,56 505,118 when plus k times 180. Now it's going to be 180 minus this number here, which is gonna give me 108 comma my answer here is 108 comma 43, and then plus k into 180. Remember, where k is an element of integers, and another quadrant where we get to turn negative, we get turn negative on the fourth quadrant. So it's going to be x into fourth quadrant, we get 360 minus 360 minus my left angle, which is 71 comma 5650518, which is going to be 288 comma 44. So plus k times 180. Remember, we k is an element of integers. So this is my this is going to be my general solution where tan is -3. I hope everyone understood everything here. Now, if I can squeeze 5.4.2, so where we are calculating the values of x. Values of x here. Now remember, we need to play the guessing game in terms of okay. So if I can tell you, because it's gonna waste time according to this video. So if I put the value of okay here as 0 according to this restriction here, my value of x is going to be 45, which goes with this restriction here. Now going to another general solution, which is this one here. If I put 2k as equals to 0, I'm going to get this part here, which is x is going to be equals to 108,43, which goes with this restriction that I have here. And also on this same part here, if I put k as equals to -1, the value of x that I get there, I'm getting -71,56, which is also goes with the restriction that I have. So you can play the guessing game according to all the general solution that we had there in terms of finding that's gonna satisfy restriction there. That was equation number 5 on this paper. Thank you so much.